Hi, this is Subramaniam Shankaran. Today we are going to discuss about the total cost of ownership for AI. Okay, whenever we spend money, we need to know how much we are actually spending to own something. Okay, similarly in AI also, we need to actually know how much we are actually spending to own the entire AI ecosystem for my organization. Okay, and total cost of ownership calculation also helps us in identifying the hidden costs, etc. So there are five building blocks whenever it comes to the total cost of ownership. That's what we are going to have a look at today in this video. Okay. Hi, this is Subramaniam Shankaran. So the AI total cost of ownership, the pizzeria way, because most of the examples I had given here, okay, can is analogous to in pizzeria, the way we actually operate. Okay. First, total cost of ownership is a complete financial picture of developing, deploying, and maintaining the AI system for the complete AI life cycle. Okay. So whenever we calculate the total cost of ownership for artificial intelligence, for any other system, okay, it's going to be a fixed cost. But in case of an artificial intelligence, it's going to be a variable cost. Okay, this is something that we faced when we went on to a cloud. Okay, because we said rapid elasticity, pay per use, etc. So it was a bit of a complexity in dealing with the total cost of ownership, and it adds AI adds a flavor to the existing complexity to make it more complex. Okay, so let's have a look at the building blocks for the total cost of ownership. So the formula is data cost plus building cost plus running cost plus people cost and mistake cost. Okay. So data cost is the amount of money that we are actually spending for acquiring the data, cleaning the data. Building cost is to build the infrastructure, training, testing, and validation. So data cost and building cost. Data cost is going to be for the data ingestion stage, and building cost is going to be for the inference stage. Running is post deployment. Okay. For all this stages, we have this people cost and mistake cost. That means if you look at three layers, the data cost, building cost, and running cost, underneath, spread across all the three layers, we have something called as the people cost and the mistake cost. Okay. So this is the formula. So we need to add everything to arrive at the total cost of ownership for artificial intelligence. Okay. So it's a pictorial representation. Okay. So the cost, data cost, building cost, running cost. Trust me, for building the data, for building the AI system, and for data acquisition, okay, and then future engineering and cleaning, etc. Okay, and for running costs, you need the people, and you should also calculate what is called as a mistake cost. Okay, once we dive deeper into each one of this, then you will understand what I'm actually saying. Let's look at what this data cost is all about. Data cost is not only to buy the data, but also to clean the data after you buy it, or you can buy the data which is already clean. Okay. Now, the 80% of the money that you are paying to buy the data goes to only prepare the data for the inference stage. That means you will have raw data, which is 20% of the cost, and remaining 80% of the cost is going to be for cleaning the data. If you're going to ask the data provider to clean the data, that is going to be an additional cost. Either the data could be internal. You could be a bank or in healthcare industry, and you are running the business for last 2 to 3 decades. Okay, and you have the data yourself, and you want to clean the data. That means you'll have your own people who are trained on it, or you'll hire a third party to actually do it for you. Okay, so one thing which is always remember, so we always say PPTP for any ISO. Okay, people, process, technology, and the partners. Okay. In case of an AI, we also have people, process, technology, and data. Okay, and the partners are no, then we will have a strategy for it. And people, process, technology, and the data. So for each and everything, either you will build it or you will buy it. You will partner with a third party organization. If you want to have the people who can do the things for you, then you can start building it. If you don't have people, then you have to recruit the guys from outside the company. So you will buy them, or you'll partner with a third party. If you don't have skills available in the market, then you have to partner with a third party. So buy, build, and partner. Same thing for the technology. So if you should already have a technology with you. If not, then you have to buy it, or you will partner with third party. You will host it on a cloud, or you will host it with a managed service provider. Similarly, for the process, either you will have people who can do it in house, or you will hire an external organization who can actually do it for you, or you can you can hire people from external to the organization who can do it for you, or you have to engage and consulting company who will actually do it for you. So buy, build, and then partner. So people, process, technology, and the data. Either you will have the data with yourself, or you will ask the third party to build the data and actually give it to you. Okay, so these are the situations that we actually have. So the data cost is not only the cost of the data, but also to clean it. Okay, number one, layer one, collection and acquisition. Sorry, there's another scenario here. See, the data is already with you, or you're going to ask a third party to do it for you, or if you're going to acquire an organization, the data set comes to you automatically. Okay, and in a way, this is also problematic. Why I'm saying this? Because see, if the data contain the personally identified information or the personal data, if the other company which you have acquired, okay, has not got the consent from all the data subject, okay, you might inherit that particular vulnerability. So we need to be extremely careful. I'm telling you about the data protection in a way, but it will also be the intellectual property rights, etc. So you will have the data with you, or you will ask the third party to prepare it for you, or you will prepare your own data, or if you want to acquire a company, that data comes to you. So the data set and yourself, okay, is going to get associated in some way or other. Okay. So data collection acquisition. Once you have the data, you need to clean and then format it. What is cleaning? Number one, remove the duplicate values, identify the outliers. Okay. For example, if for a university, the first year engineering college students, okay, if you're going to have the field for the age, 18, 17, 19 is actually okay. But 26, 27 could be an outlier. Okay, so somewhere we have made a mistake, or that could be an exception. Okay, so we need to identify that. Similarly, outliers, missing values to be populated. So removing the duplicates, identifying the outliers, and then populating the missing values. Okay, and what is called standardization. Okay, every data set could have, as I said, okay, New York. Okay, there are New York, NY is fine. Dubai, you say Dubai, then you say the DXB. Okay, so we need to standardize that on the data set so that we can make use of it on what is called as a inference stage where you develop a model. Labeling and annotating. Okay, so you need to tag each and every data. Okay, for example, at the pizzeria. Okay, if there are reviews, there could be good reviews, there could be bad reviews. There could be good reviews with respect to the taste, with respect to the delivery speed, with respect to the politeness of the staff, etc. So we need to label each and every feedback in such a way, then we can quantify that. Okay, so labeling and annotating, okay, is very important. Next comes what is called your storage and backup. And usually in AI, there is something called as a data storage infrastructure and data serving infrastructure. And you need to have the storage within your organization. If not, you have to go for a cloud service provider and then or a managed service provider. It is going to cost you something. Okay. So an example, 5 years of pizza orders and security videos and a secure cloud cost $100 a month. Okay, $1,200 a year. Next, movement and transfer. I usually associate this particular topic with the marriage. Okay, the marriage and alimony. So you get involved in an relationship with a celebrity, and you decide to get married, and they want to keep the marriage less expensive. Invite very limited people. Don't want to create a hype about it. Yeah, so that could be beautiful. Okay, but when they arrive at an argument and you want to separate yourself, okay, then the exit criteria or exit cost will be tremendous. Like alimony is what you need to pay. Similarly, whenever you go to the cloud service provider to have your instances running, as long as you are running, see, putting something on a cloud is cheap. Getting it away is very expensive. Similarly, for the inference cost also, asking a question is cheap, but getting the response is very expensive, comparatively expensive. So the movement and transfers. Tomorrow you design one cloud service provider to other cloud service provider, or you want to move it internally. Okay, it's going to cost you a very heavy amount. Okay, it is strategy for the cloud service providers to also retain you with them. Okay, privacy and compliance. Okay, if, as I told you, right, if your organization is going to acquire another organization, okay, you should also look into the personal identifying information, personal data. That is not the scenario. Even if you're going to buy the data set from a third party, okay, third party is preparing for your own data set. Okay, if you're going to use it in AI, okay, according to the GDPR, you're going to use the personal identifying information as a part of AI that falls under what is called as an innovative technology, and you need to get an explicit consent from the data subject. Otherwise, you cannot use their data to the data subject. Now, there are a lot of cases going on around. Okay, Tilly Norwood, Brian Monroe. Okay, this case is also there. The Particle 6 developed Tilly Norwood. Brian Monroe is saying that, okay, she looks like me. Okay, yes, no, there's a lot of rooms to debate about that. Okay, but having said that, this is something that we need to look into. So you pay a data security expert $1,500 to remove all the customer home address from the pizza data set before feeding it to the OpenAI. Okay, OpenAI or any other model. Ideally, on the data ingestion stage, you need to scrub all this personally identified information and personal data before you start feeding into the inference stage where the model is actually getting developed. Okay. So total data, okay, per year cost, what exactly it is, okay, 2,750 US dollars according to the calculation that we actually made. Okay. Golden rule for the data cost. Do not look at the price of buying the data, but cleaning the data is going to cost you 80% more. Okay. So layer two and layer three, cleaning and labeling. Okay. So for supervised learning, label is very important. Getting on to what is called the building cost. Building costs are one-time upfront cost to teach the brand new brain from scratch. Okay. One-time cost with respect to the training. When it comes to retraining, then this cost is going to come again. Okay. So building cost is one-time cost until the deployment, but for retraining, the same cost will be incurred to you. So think of building a car engine, don't store, all these things are fine. Okay, there are five hidden layers. Let's discuss about this. Compute power. See, if you go for a machine learning, you don't have to go for the sophisticated hardware. But moment you go for large language model, which is based on the deep learning, LLM, generative AI agents, and agentic AI. That's what the evolution. Everybody would have seen about the layers of circle on the LinkedIn post, etc. So this particular, if it's going to be for a machine learning algorithm or a small language model, you don't have to have a very high investment on GPUs, TPUs, etc. But if it's a large language model, okay, and then the generative AI, okay, for which the large language model, it depends on the large language model, and AI agents for which generative AI is actually a brain, okay, and then this architecture, okay, the AI orchestration layer, okay, which is called as agentic AI. For all this, you need to have a very good computational power. You need to have a system with the GPUs and TPUs with you. If you're going to buy them, $30,000 is what the cost of a decent system. And if you're going to rent them, then it ranges from $2 to $10+ per hour for per GPU. Okay, so if you're going to have 500 hours, 8 GPUs, 500 hours, 5 hours at a 5 hour, $5 an hour. So 8 multiplied by 500 multiplied by $5, 20,000 just for a machine to run. Okay, so it all depends. Okay, if you want to go for a one-off project, you can go for rental. But if the project is going to be ongoing, okay, you can go for buying them. Okay, which is cheaper. Okay. Next, experimentation and the failed attempts. The biggest hidden cost whenever you are calculating the total cost of ownership is the experimentation and the failed attempts. Okay, that means the AI is not going to give you the perfect model the first time. You need to try it 20, 30 times. That means when you are training the data, okay, it's going to cost you an X amount. It will cost you 20 to 50 times more amount, okay, when the model is actually getting generated. Because it's not that every first time you are successful. At least I had not been successful the first time. Okay, even when I was doing my C and C++ coding in 1993, okay, in those days, no. Okay, so what I mean to say is, because I'm not successful doesn't mean that nobody is successful, but you also need to cater for the failed attempts that you're actually going to make. Okay, setting up the training, let it run for 10 hours, realize AI is learning nothing. You stop it, change the setting, and restart. You might do it 20 to 50 times before you find the right recipe. Okay, your successful training takes 100 hours. Because you failed 4 times and the fifth time you're successful, you need to calculate for 500 hours of GPU time. Okay, that means your building cost is multiplied by 5. Base model licensing. Okay, so nobody builds the model right from the scratch. Okay, so there's something called the transfer learning. There are large language models that are actually existing. Okay, which you might buy and start using it. Whenever you are trying to buy something from the scratch, or you do something from scratch, it's going to cost you a lot of money. Okay, so we can go for what is called the transfer learning, or the people are also resorting to what is called as a white box knowledge distillation. That's a method by which you'll compress the LLM to an SLM and start actually using it. For example, you pay 500, so 5,000 for a specialized business language based model to use as your starting point. Okay, you don't have to teach the English from the basics. AI engineers salaries. Okay, you cannot just press a button, everything is done automatically. No, you need to have the AI engineers, okay, who are going to set up the complete things. These engineers earn $150,000 to $300,000 per year. Wish the skilled Indians also earn this much. Okay, so it should not be an exploitation. All over the world, we speak about equality and justification, liberty, etc. It's a shame that we are going to treat the other countryman as a piece of shit. Okay, I'm sorry to use this language anyway. Okay, so if the building takes just 2 months, it costs you the company roughly 25,000 to 50,000 in salary. Okay. To build an AI, you need a specialized software, libraries, and the developer tools. Some are free, some are that's something like some are you need to buy them. Okay. And even if you're going to deploy something free for the monitoring, you need an premium software. So paying $2,000 a year for the dashboard shows exactly when your training is failing. So the total building cost comes to 25,500 US dollars. So golden rule of building cost. You can never calculate your successful training time. Calculate also for the failed attempts. Okay, because failed attempt nobody's going to do it free of cost. Okay, also for the failed attempts. Remember, building is a fixed. Once you spend $25,000 on your workshop, you stop paying the building cost. Then you pay only for the operating cost. Okay, only build if you plan to use this AI for so many years to come. Otherwise, it's just going to be for 6 months or so. Go for rental basis. Next, running cost. Running cost. See, running cost from where the deployment actually starts. That means the building cost and then data cost. You're going to have data building cost and data cost. Is what you actually have for the pre-deployment stage. Okay, there's a data cost for the data ingestion stage, and then the building cost is for inference stage. Okay, now comes what is called as a post deployment. Running cost is what you pay every month, like electricity bill, okay, salaries, etc. Okay, how do you now the AI is something that is used by the public, by the customer. Okay, running cost is something which you're going to start paying every month. First is inference fee. Inference is a very fancy way of saying that, okay, the question that has been asked to the AI and the response comes. So question and answer per session is actually called as the inference. Okay. So every inference, okay, the cloud service provider will actually charge you. More number of inference, more they'll charge you. If your customer base is going to increase, then inference cost is also increasing. You will pay a lot of money. Okay. And the cost of inference is not really with respect to the query, but the resource utilization per query. Because I can say that, can you please generate a CISSP book? Okay. So, such a simple sentence. Okay. But the CISSP book might be 1,000 pages or 2,000 pages. Okay. We don't know. Okay. Your prompt, the way you want it, all this thing will decide that. Okay. So what I mean to say is inference cost is something that we need to add up. Your pizza chat box answers 5,000 customer questions a month. Okay, 1 cent per question. So $50 a month. Okay, what you will actually pay for 5,000 customer questions a month. Actually, a successful pizzeria will have 5,000 or 10,000 questions per day. Just imagine this cost. If it's going to be per day, okay, then let's say 5,000 customer questions per day. That means per day is $50. Okay, per month, 50 multiplied with $1,500. If it's going to be, over the weekend, okay, number of questions will be more. So we need to take into consideration all of this. Infrastructure idle server. See, if you're going to host your AI application on a cloud, okay, so it's going to run 24 cross 7. Okay, so the people are going to access it. Even if there is going to be only one prompt at night, you still need to run the instance 24 cross 7. You need to pay for it. Okay, so you rent a powerful server to host your custom pizza AI. Okay, so even with the zero question, the hosting bill is $2,000 per month just to keep the machine plugged in and awake. But what I would still say is, okay, these are the things that you have to anticipate. Okay, it is like having a security for your infrastructure, because there had never been an attempt to steal something. Okay, that doesn't mean that you will not have security, right? So we need to run it 24 cross 7, 24 cross 7. It could also lead to reputational damage if you're not running it 24 cross 7. So suddenly the guys are enjoying a pizza party. Okay, at night they want to order a pizza, but that time your application is down because that's one of the case. Okay, then it's a reputational damage, and the words will start spreading saying that these guys are not available all the time. Okay, but it could just be a one-off case. Number two, human supervision. See, AI is never perfect. Okay, there are a lot of hallucination that actually happen. Okay, even the predictive AI, it need not be all the predictions are always right. You need to have the human supervision. Okay, this is actually called as a human in the loop. So there are three strategies: human in the loop, on the loop, and human in command. So what we are speaking is about the human in the loop. Okay, in the human in the loop, you are going to have the human to look at every output, or and say yes or no before it starts hitting the customer. Or the appeal process, we need to have a human in the loop. So the human supervision is actually required, and you need to pay for that particular person. Okay, so that's going to be around $2,000 a month, so $24,000 a year. Retraining and updates. Okay, so we have the model, and the underlying data is always changing. See, if I'm going to ask, okay, the cyber security news today in last 24 hours. So I'm on 5th of July 2026. Last 24 hours is from 4th of July 2026 to 5th of July 2026. Okay. The same question next year will be on in 2027. That means if the model has to answer that question, the underlying data needs to be refreshed. There are two types of model. Okay, parameterized model and non-parameterized model. Parameterized model is where the data is actually learned by the model, and then it can directly answer. In non-parameterized, it is used in the retrieval augmented generation. Okay, so it depends upon the information that is fetched from the data stores. Okay, so wherever it is, if you want to retrain the data will cost you same as building the data. The building cost that we actually calculated for training, the same thing will be incurred for retraining the data also. Okay. Bandwidth of the data transfer. Okay, so it's the amount of network capacity that you actually have. And as I told you, the ingress, if you're going to ask a question to the model, it's going to cost you less, but the output is going to cost you more. Egress will cost you more. Okay. In fact, even the cloud, okay, you can put all the any of the data inside the cloud. We don't actually have a problem. But moment you want to pick up that data, okay, and move to a different cloud service provider, or you want to come internally to the organization, they're going to charge you a hefty money. Okay, golden rule: building costs hurt once, running costs will hurt forever. Building a house is a one-time expense, okay, but maintaining the house, okay, is something which is a recurring expense. Okay, and you have to maintain the house to ensure that the building is strong enough all the time. Okay, your running cost silent grow. Okay, now I'll tell you there are two scenarios in which the running cost is going to be damn higher. Okay, one is we're going to have the zombie AI. Okay, the zombie AI is a model AI model that has not been decommissioned properly. If you're going to have a zombie AI in the infrastructure, okay, and that is going to eat up your resources, your monthly bill will also be high. In fact, in one of the schools in US, okay, in San Francisco, I guess they had a model called Ed, and the vendor who actually developed the model, the AI producer, became bankrupt, and there was no support for it. So they stopped using that model. But unfortunately, they did not abandon it, decommission it properly. The Ed was running all the time. Okay, it was listening to all the conversation. There was a huge data breach. Okay, and similarly, there's one more situation called as a AI sprawl. AI sprawl, it's called. So that means, okay, there are a lot of people have an access to the cloud instance, left, right, and center. Okay, they deploy the model and start testing it. Okay, and if you're not going to close them properly, your monthly bill will increase. Okay, so running cost, okay, has also got a lot of other facets to it. Okay, we need to be extremely careful. Next is the people cost. Definitely, people process technology, the data. So we discussed the word technology. Okay, people, without the people, okay, nothing actually happens. The human employee, okay, let's not speak about the digital employee who are the agents, okay, might or might not work. A lot of companies are coming back to the traditional way of doing the business. Microsoft is returning back. Uber is returning back. Ford is returning back. Okay, so we don't know how the world is going to go forward. They're saying the 1 year of budget is what I had for the AI is all eaten up in 4 months' time. Okay, so paying for the AI agent or AI, okay, is a tremendous cost that is involved. Anyway, coming on this particular one, in the world of AI, people cost the total wages, salaries that you pay for all the human beings who build, babysit, fix, your AI system. For almost AI projects, people cost the single largest expense that is going to be there. That is one of the reasons people want to go for digital AI. I mean, digital employees, there's AI, but they are much more dangerous. Okay, as of now, okay, until the maturity is actually reached. Okay, and having said that, okay, I don't think it's 100% possible to displace the people. AI will displace the humans on one side and create a lot of job opportunities on the other side. That's for sure. Okay, layer one data workers, the cleaners. Okay, they open the spreadsheet and manually fix the typos, duplicates, etc. Data labelers, you'll pay them $15 to $50 an hour. Okay, data engineers, okay, who are going to build the pipes that move the data from old system to a new system. Okay, then data refreshing actually happens. Okay, these guys, okay, you're going to pay 1,200 US dollars, 120 US dollars to 180,000, 120,000 US dollars, 180,000 US dollars. Extremely high, okay, machine learning engineers. Okay, these are the brain, okay, for the AI. They're going to build the algorithm. Okay, so these guys, okay, 180,000 US dollars to 350,000 US dollar per year is what the cost is. MLOps engineers who are going to keep, they're the operations guys, okay, who are going to keep up the system running. They will monitor the system for 24 cross 7, okay, ensure that it doesn't crash. You'll be paying them 150,000 US dollars or 200,000 US dollars per year, okay. Subject matter experts, okay, people are not technically qualified, but you ask them a question about banking or healthcare or any other vertical they are not aware of. Naturally, that is not their arena to play. So you need to hire a subject matter expert who's going to be with you, and the subject matter expert who is going to be alongside right from the data ingestion stage, okay, until the retiring. Okay, retirement. Why I'm saying retiring of the model, because of the subject matter expert could also be a data production guy. You need to retain the data, okay, for a stipulated time. Retaining the data, okay, is according to the GDPR is actually required. It is according to the agreement that you have got to the user. Okay, so every vertical has got different data retention policy. Okay, the debit card will be retained for credit card for 5 years until the dues are settled. Housing loan, home loan, vehicle loan, personal loan, everything depends upon the tenure and then the tenure and then the repaying capacity or repayment. If you look at the savings account, okay, it'll be live as long as the user is going to be alive. So subject matter expert is actually required, okay, to tell you about the data retention. I'm just giving an example. You can have an SME for healthcare, for for BFSI, all these verticals, no problem. So we need to pay him 80,000 US dollars to 150,000 US dollars. 80,000 to 150,000 US dollars is what you'll pay. Legal complaints officers, okay, we are bound by the European Union AI Act. It is actually starting from the 3rd of August 2026. Okay, and the GDPR, DPDP in India, okay, CBUAE in UAE, and UAE is coming up with a federal law for AI. So we need to have the lawyers. Okay? In fact, the AI governance committee is going to be a cross collaboration. You'll have the AI officer heading it, but he will be supported with the CISO, CDPO, CLO, okay, and then CIO, okay, then HR, okay, or HR, chief HR officers, everybody. We call it the cross collaboration or squad. Okay, so the legal officer, you will pay him 150,000 US dollars to 250,000 US dollars per year. This is going to come to 418,000 US dollars. Okay, 418,000 US dollar a year. Next comes what is called as a mistake cost. Before that, golden rule. If you're going to calculate, if you're going to price 100,000, 100,000 US dollars of a salary of an individual, okay, you need to add up the 30% because of the insurance and all these things. Okay, so that's something that we need to do. Golden handcuff trap. If you hire a super expensive AI engineer, very hard to find and keep. Okay, if they quit, the project stops. You must pay him extra money. Okay, and higher salary to retain him. Okay, do you really need an 200,000 US dollar AI engineer on a day one? No. Okay, so you can hire him as and when there's a requirement. You can start with the minimum capacity and get down to the larger one. Now, the mistake cost is something which everybody is going to miss about. Okay, it's a miss. Okay, we miss and we take the cost of it. Okay, the mistake cost of it. The real world mistake cost are all money you lose, refund you give, the waste of time putting in effort. Okay, now there is a layer one hallucination. Okay, your system is going to generate and false information, but it assumes that's a fact. Okay, but it's going to cause a reputational damage to an individual. Okay, and it's going to really cost you a lot of money. For example, your pizzeria chat box is going to tell the customer, we have buy one get one free special tonight, but there's no offers like that. Okay, so there are 10 pizza orders that is actually goes out. You give them, buy one get one free. Okay, and that's what you actually receive. But in order to keep the customer happy, to save yourself from the reputational damage, okay, you are actually giving them one more pizza. Okay, buy one get one free as what they have requested you, which is not a part of your strategy, but was hallucinated by the AI, okay, for giving that. Okay, so you will start losing money for every pizza, okay, that was not paid for. And bias for the offensive responses, biased or offensive responses. Historically, if your data is going to be trained on a bias, okay, let's assume that only the men were hired, okay, etc., or you are inclined towards a race or language or religion or demography, etc., that could be a bias. Okay, the Amazon available publicly on the Google that they had, until I think 2015 or 16, they had the hiring tool where only men were preferred over the women because historically they have been hiring only men for delivery. Okay, then women started competing with the men in delivery also. Okay, so then the things got changed actually, but it is not something which was intentional, but so happened that it was biased because historically the data was actually biased. Okay. Bad automated action. Okay, for example, if you're going to give a lot of liberty to the AI application or AI agents, okay, in one of the classic examples, okay, and the agentic AI application and the was used in one of the customer environments, and it went on to delete the complete data, okay, and then populated the fake data. Okay, giving an extra liberty to the AI agent and more privileges is always dangerous. Okay, now, something is preventing people from following the, fundamentals of least privileges, need to know, default to deny. These are simple cybersecurity principles that you can actually undertake to secure yourself from such an attack. So, the security management and service management should be integral part of the AI. Only then you'll have metrics and you'll have security. Otherwise, no. Data leaks and privacy breaches. Okay, so there's a legal fine cost. See, for example, you have trained your model on a data set, okay, and we don't have the consent from all the data subjects for using the data. And if you're going to reveal that, leak the data, okay, through a prompt or wave injection, whatever it is, there could be a penalty. Okay, the violation of the GDPR, 4% of the global annual income, or 20,000 euros. For European Union EA Act, the violation is 7% or 30,000 euros. 35,000 euros, much more bigger than the GDPR. So we need to be extremely careful, okay, dealing with the AI. Okay. Human cleanup time. When AI makes a mistake, okay, then the humans have to jump into to clean up that. Okay, it's an additional effort that they're actually putting. Okay, they're supposed to do their work, but they're spending their money in cleaning up some nonsense that has been done by AI. Okay, you're going to waste a lot of time and efforts in cleaning that up. Okay, the cleanup time is also something that needs to be calculated. And AI wrote an 50 angry, rude emails to best of the customers before you caught it. Your customer service team now spends 40 hours total calling each customer to apologize and offer refunds. At $25 an hour, this cost you 1,000 wasted the employee's salary just to clean up the mess. So AI will also lead you to that particular position. Putting all that together, 11,000 US dollar comes per month. Okay, this is a hypothetical situation. Might or might not happen. As long as it doesn't happen, we are happy about that. Okay. Sneaky truth about the mistake cost. Scary past is that when the customers are 100, okay, there are 5 mistakes. Okay, and there then the customers are 10,000, there are 500 mistakes. So $100 to $10,000 is what it is going to cost you. Okay, again, we need to hire a lawyer, okay, for the data safety. Hire a lawyer to review your AI data safety. If AI makes a terrible mistake at 3 a.m. in the morning, who's going to catch it? How much will it cost me to fix it before the sun rises? Okay, that's the golden rule. Now, summing up all this thing together, you can calculate the total cost of ownership for AI. So my name is Subramaniam Shankaran. You can join me for the BCA UK Certified Chief AI Officer Training and Certification Program. I'm there to handhold you for the AI leadership position. You want to have this presentation for you, then you can mail me on training@itribulas.org.uk. If you want to join us for this training also, you can mail me at training@itribulas.org.uk. Cheers then, this is Subramaniam Shankaran signing off for now. Bye-bye.